Tragedy in Jos as school building collapses, killing many, injuring others. Reactions trail Supreme Court verdict in favor of local government autonomy. After a long wait, Olakulehin officially crowned as 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land. On the foreign scene, Kenyan youths demand Ruto's resignation, plan future strikes. Good evening and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Plateau State as at least 12 individuals have tragically lost their lives and dozens of others sustained injuries after a two-story building collapsed at St. Academy Secondary School in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. Now, the incident occurred during school hours on Friday morning, disrupting activities at the school and its surroundings. The collapse occurred while students and teachers were engaged in examinations, causing panic and devastation among the school community. Trust TV's Ado Musa visited the scene of the incident and filed in this report.
This was how the rescue operation was carried out. Some parents couldn't control their emotions, crying and desperately asking about the whereabouts of their children. Their wailing and crying filled the air as they anxiously waited for news about their loved ones. A sudden burst of joy and relief was everywhere when some students were rescued alive, which brought hope to some parents. Some eyewitnesses speak on the incident.
This is our chief imam of Central Mosque. So on our way coming back from the burial today at 10 a.m., then we realized that this school was falling down. People are rushing coming towards this direction. That is why we come here to assist. Even this way, you can see it in my hand. We use some of our filing machines just on to help the students. They are crying for help and to help me. As we come here, we rescue some of the students, like 5 of them. They take them to Benton Hospital, popularly known as John Kwano. Even this pen that you are seeing in my hand, collected it from one student.
This incident just happened just like that. My house is not just far from the water side, so we were just at home. Suddenly we just hear a sound, straight sound from nowhere. Boom! It just carry itself go ground. So when we came out, we just saw dust coming from this location. So as an engineer, I'm an engineer also. So as I just see the building collapse, I said that we should just come with shovel and digger. When we came, there were nobody here. So we started working, trying to remove some people, save some lives. So there is even one hole I even put my hand. As I put hand, the boy catch me. I fear well. I draw my hand come out, so we now dig the place. Thank God we removed the boy and his brother. Surprisingly, we saw him and his brother.
I was at home when I heard that a school collapsed. So for me to show my own instance of help, so I rushed down here and I found out that already people are already working. So I then now joined them to work. So while working, we removed some bodies down, which were about 5 to 6 from my own witness, yes.
Nuruddin Usaini is the secretary of the Nigerian Red Cross, Plateau State branch. He said the incident was unfortunate.
We got a distress call early in the morning about a collapsed building here at St. Academy, Busabuji, and we quickly mobilized our volunteers coming to the site of the building. We got that students were trapped inside the buildings, and then we started search and rescue, in which we were able to evacuate a lot of students, taking them to various hospitals. some with various degrees of injuries, and then some that were not injuries. We took them to the hospital for psychological first aid and psychosocial support at the hospitals. So far, we have evacuated a lot of them in collaborations with other agencies such as NEMA, SEMA, and other agencies that were present at the site of the building.
The number of the students and staff trapped are yet unknown. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Let's go to Jos now and speak to Trust TV's Ado Musa, who's standing by for us to give us some update on this unfortunate incident. Ado, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a long day, a hectic one, but more importantly, a tragic one. 12 lives lost so far. What can you tell us about an update on the rescue operation, whether it's been concluded, and what can you tell us about the official figures that have been confirmed so far?
Well, the rescue mission has been ended. Because virtually all the rescue operation teams have left the area, and the state government has just issued a statement confirming the casualty figure of those who were found during the incident. According to the statement issued by the state government, about 22 people so far have been confirmed killed, while 165 people have been rescued. And virtually all those that were rescued have been evacuated to various hospitals. So this is the update we have from the authority.
Right. What can you tell us about the demography of the casualties? How many do we know are students? How many do we know are teachers and others who were caught up in this unfortunate incident?
Well, at the moment, there is no any official statement explaining whether these are the numbers of the students that were injured or killed, or these are the numbers of the teachers that were involved in the incident. All we know is the statement just center across the casualty figure. They said that 22 people were killed, while 165 were rescued.
Right. What about what caused this collapse? Is there any sort of clarity? Do we know if an investigation is underway to determine what caused the collapse of the building?
Well, at the moment, there is no any also official statement with regard to that, because government officials arrived the area, and I'm very sure that maybe an investigation is ongoing. The security agencies have not also given any statement with regard to any investigation or with regard to the cause of the incident. But I believe that maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow, something with regard to this maybe will be set out.
Okay, Ado, thank you so much for the update. I will circle back as soon as we learn more. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour. Ado Musa there speaking on the recent development of a collapse of a school, a two-story building in Jos North, leading to the death of some 22 individuals that has just been confirmed by the Plateau State government. Moving on, the recent Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy is widely regarded in some circles as a significant stride towards enhancing Nigeria's democratic credentials. However, there are concerns that some governors may attempt to circumvent the autonomy measures to retain control over crucial financial resources belonging to the councils. The key stakeholders involved in achieving this landmark judgment, that include the National Assembly and the legal arm of the executive, recognize the next critical step is to ensure full compliance with the court's decision. State House correspondent Kane Diamodu has more.
It has been a long battle spanning over 20 years in the National Assembly and even longer at the executive arm of government to attain this landmark judgment. In fact, just over 2 years ago, the presidency was reeling from a judgment from the same Supreme Court that annulled the Executive Order 10, which had been signed by President Muhammadu Buhari in June 2020. This, therefore, is being seen as a victory for democracy.
I call it local government emancipation judgment, because it has really emancipated the local government from, the shackles of the past.
It's an issue that has been before the parliament for the past 20 years. All the constitutional amendments that were so far carried by the National Assembly, one aspect of it has always been local government autonomy. How do we make the local governments to work independently?
Nevertheless, the fear of most political pundits is that the governors, given their antecedents, will find a way of circumventing the judgment.
We're looking forward to local governments that work functionally. They'll be able to work on their own, extend goodwill to their own people, undisturbed by the excesses, if I may use the word, of the state governors.
I'll just call on all states of the Federation to respect what the Supreme Court has done, and then we'll go back to the legislature and see where we can dot the I's and then cross the T's to ensure the full implementation.
The ball is in the court of the governors. Let us see what they will come out with. But the judgment is clear as to what they should do. The judgment is clear as to what consequences will attach to failure or refusal to follow the judgment of the Supreme Court, which takes immediate effect.
After securing the independence of local governments, the next hurdle to cross is to ensure that there is real democracy in the local government councils, such that those that emerge are not mere puppets of the governors.
At the moment, there is a lot of lethargy and nonchalant attitude by many political parties whose parties are not in power at the state level. They hardly partake in local government elections because of the perceived idea of either bandwagon effect and all that. Now we have to go back and think, working with the Attorney General's office and the Parliament to see how we can ensure that there is real election at the local government levels.
It is one crucial judgment, but the work to make local government truly viable has just begun. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
To some of the day's other news, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has granted bail to former Minister of Power, Saleh Mamman, in the sum of 10 billion naira and two sureties who must provide properties in Abuja valued at a minimum of 750 million naira. Mamman faces charges including conspiracy to commit money laundering and possession, as well as use of proceeds from criminal conduct. In a ruling on Mamman's bail application, Justice Omotosho stipulated that the sureties must submit certified land documents to the court along with 3 years tax clearance. Alternatively, Mamman may provide a bank guarantee for the specified amount, in which case no sureties will be required. The court also ordered Mamman to submit his bank statements and international passport to the court, and the case has been adjourned to September 25th, 2024 for the commencement of the trial. This decision follows Justice Omotosho's earlier order on Thursday remanding the former minister in Kuje Prison, Abuja, pending the consideration of his bail application. The Nigerian Army has transferred 277 civilians rescued from Boko Haram terrorists during operations in the Sambisa Forest and Chad Basin area of Borno State. The victims were rescued in Dikwa, Bama, and Monguno local government areas of Borno State, according to the troops. Major General Ken Chigbu, the Deputy Theatre Commander of Joint Task Force Northeast under Operation Hatinkai, appealed to armed insurgents against the Nigerian state to surrender and embrace peace. He emphasized the military's focus on restoring normalcy and socio-economic activities in the Northwest region through both kinetic and non-kinetic operations, while expressing a desire to redirect resources towards regional development.
The Nigerian military is not interested in this fight. We consider them our brothers and sisters. We want peace to reign. So the earlier they come out, the better for us. All the funds used in prosecuting this fight can be channeled to other developmental process and opportunities for the betterment of the state and the people in general.
We are taking them to Bulunkutu Interim Care Center, where we provide them with services like mental health and psychosocial support, case management, educational services for the children, and family tracing and identification for the unaccompanied and separated children.
Now, amidst the economic increase in the price of food items and essential commodities nationwide, traders are urging the federal government to implement a lasting solution to help address the food shortages affecting Nigerians. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin, who visited several major markets in Kano, reports that residents are grappling with the persistent price hikes across the state. His report.
Inside the Wano grain market in Kano, dozens of trucks load of food items arrived on daily basis, some for export to neighboring countries and others for consumption at home. But the prices of these food items have continued to skyrocket according to some consumers in Kano State. Honestly, like you see, the price in the market of rice is always skyrocketing. And even today, they have increased the price to about 70 to 90,000 naira. Despite the arrival and departure of these trucks of food, traders in the Wano market say there is acute food shortage, largely because the rainy season has just started and old stock is about to finish.
There is a really shortage in terms of as we are going to the off season. Means we are now approaching the rainy season, the farming area, whereby the food are really shortage. There is no stock on the ground, and definitely if the demand is a little bit high, definitely the price has to be slightly going up.
Where there is shortage and the demand is high, so definitely sometimes you may get people using that opportunity to sell in a high price.
However, according to Singa Market Development Association, the companies processing food items have for the last couple of months continued to increase price for traders, and the ordinary man is paying the price.
The government also should try as much as it can to tackle or curtail the price of the issue of insecurity, because the insecurity also is another contributing factor. And maybe from the list that is maybe prohibited export list, maybe only maize is on the list. The government should also look at some other food that is not enough in the country to ban the exportation of that.
Although traders here say they are trying to control the price of food items like rice, which is now sold at between 75 to 90,000 naira per bag of 50 kg. But many traders are going out of business owing to the current situation. Unfortunately, this is what we are having at the moment. If we go to the company, they keeps on increasing the price and they are telling us they don't have paddy. And I don't know what is the problem with this paddy. Always they don't have paddy. And when we buy this rice, there is cost of transportation. You have to transport it from where you buy it to the market. And then you have to add something to also sell to your customers that are coming every day. For these traders, unless the federal government implements subsidy on food items, it is very likely that the prices of food items and other essential commodities will continue to increase unabated.
There is some issue between Benin Republic and the Niger Republic. So most of the food items that Niger are getting, they are getting it through Benin. And now I think that had been stopped for some time. So I think this could be the reason why people from Niger, people from other countries, those are living in economically disadvantaged areas are coming to Nigeria buying food items, not only the processed food or the crops. They are even buying the perishable items.
Recently, President Bola Tinubu directed the reopening of border to import food items, and Nigerians are still waiting for that to happen. While they wait, their suffering continue. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
The Nigerian Army has arrested 21 suspects and recovered 10 boats, 5 vehicles and motorcycles during an ongoing operation against illegal oil refineries in Ukwa West local government area of Abia State. Thursday's operation, conducted at Obuaku and Imo River waterside in Ipu town, follows a crackdown within 1 month after a previous raid in Obuaku and Isimini waterside area where 20 suspects were arrested and 16 boats recovered. Major General Hassan Dada, the general officer commanding the 82nd Division, led the joint military exercise under Operation Udoka to combat oil bunkering in the state. Troops destroyed numerous oil storage tanks, crude oil, and illegal refined petroleum products during Thursday's operation. Addressing reporters at the creek, the GOC expressed concerns about the detrimental impact of oil vandalism on the Nigerian economy. He vowed to eliminate any breeding ground for oil vandals and economic saboteurs within the division's operational areas. Elsewhere, Owolabi Akinloye Olakulehin has been crowned as the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land. He was crowned at the Labosinde compound, the family traditionally responsible for crowning any Olubadan of Ibadan land. The ceremony took place on Friday. Here's the report.
It's a rich display of unique cultural diversity in the ancient city of Ibadan, which has drawn sons and daughters, traditional leaders and politicians from across the country to witness the coronation and presentation of staff of office to the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Akinloye Olakulehin. Having observed the compulsory traditional rites, the 43rd Olubadan arrived the ancient Mapo Hall at exactly 1:43 p.m. to a rousing welcome.
Today we are not only celebrating the ascension of a new monarch, we are also honoring a rich cultural legacy that has defined the great Ibadan city and has thrived for centuries. Our esteemed Dr. Excellency, Engineer Sheikh.
All I know is that all the princesses of the day, they always do well with Ibadan people and for the progress of Ibadan city. And I believe our new king, this for the third, Oba Olakulehin, I believe that the same thing will happen. His main goal is to progress of Ibadan city and for the Ibadan people. The coronation comes at last. We thank God for that. And we pray that the time of the Olubadan will be most prosperous for Ibadan indigenous and residents of Ibadan, and particularly and Oyo State in general.
In his address delivered in Yoruba language, the new monarch promised to preserve, protect and promote Ibadan customs, traditions and cultural heritage. President Bola Tinubu was represented by the Minister of Power, called on the traditional institution to contribute its quota to national development by promoting peaceful coexistence among Oyo residents.
My message for Mr. President is that the coronation of today, the installation of today of Olubadan will usher in peace, tranquility, growth and development to the city of Ibadan in particular and to Oyo State in general and extended to Nigeria at large.
We recognize that the enthronement of an Oba in a society remains a significant occasion in the history of every community. It signifies the dawn of a new era and has from time immemorial been the yardstick of measuring the stability of our traditional institutions.
Today, the coronation, I'm handing over staff of office to the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakulehin, has again demonstrated that Ibadan land at our own we can be resilient.
Oba Akinloye Olakulehin first became Mogaji in 1983 and was installed as Jagun Balogun of Ibadan land in 1986. It has taken him 38 years to ascend the throne of his forefathers as the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land.
In other news, youths in Imo State are advocating for initiatives that enhance their capacities and provide opportunities for them to lead decent lives. They believe that with the right environment and support, youth unemployment can be reduced, contributing to a safer nation for all. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise has more.
According to many of the youths who spoke to Trust TV News, the current condition of most youths in the state leaves much to be desired, hence the need for intervention.
I don't think the youth have been given the necessary support, especially from the government, because from the look of things, you do not need to be told if you're from Imo or you're schooling here in Imo State, the way things are.
I'm actually not happy with the situation of our country. There's a lot of unemployment. Youths are graduating from school. Help them to actually have employment. They're not actually being employed. Government should provide more employment opportunities, create more jobs, and also they can also offer loan to youths who actually want to use the money to create jobs.
As a direct response to these calls, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has created a Ministry of Youth Development aimed at empowering the youths and addressing their developmental needs. The new ministry is expected to oversee initiatives and programs aimed at enhancing youth empowerment, skills development, and employment opportunities.
We have a whole lot of companies in Nigeria and outside Nigeria that are just looking for people who know how to do some practical things. Practical, not theoretical. Now, those of our youths who are not into the university setting or the tertiary setting, we're going to use these technical schools, these technical hubs to teach them these practical handworks that we are sure that could make them earn a living.
The youths are hopeful that the ministry will live up to expectation by addressing challenges facing youths in the state.
There should be better platforms for the youths to thrive, for the youth to do better, because trust me, we have youths with good skills, youths with brains.
The youth can succeed in the good enabling environment whereby the governor, a distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, he has brought us a commissioner for youth development, which the young guy, Dr. Mandela, he has put everything in order to make sure the youth are doing what they're supposed to do in the environment.
Further inquiries revealed that the ministry is meant to focus on creating enabling environments for youths to thrive, with a special emphasis on education, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
To Nasarawa State, where the State AIDS Control Agency has disclosed that approximately 60,000 individuals have been identified as HIV positive and are currently undergoing treatment at various hospitals across the state. Ruth Bello is the executive director of the agency, and she revealed this during a one-day training session on youth and adolescent-friendly HIV and AIDS program, as well as prep for media personnel in Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital. Umar Muhammad tells us more.
The state scored very high in prevention and treatment, with prevalence rates of HIV now at just 2%.
The essence of this training is for media houses so that they can pass messages that are youth-friendly messages to people who are living with HIV, and also discuss about stigma and discrimination, because we know that's one of the drivers of the epidemic. Because we know worldwide we want to achieve epidemic control by 2030. And for us to achieve epidemic control by 2030, we want to know what are the things that are avoiding HIV and how do we overcome it, and in which we know stigma and discrimination is one of it, and also knowledge gap.
The state's anti-stigma law against discrimination of people living with HIV/AIDS has contributed to fostering marriages between HIV negative and positive individuals without the fear of transmission.
The last survey that was conducted in Nigeria in 2018, the ISOVS put the prevalence of HIV in the sunset at 2.0. And of course, if you put 2.0 against the total population of society, you can imagine the number of people we have. Over 60,000 people are already on treatment. And the plan by government and people of society is to ensure that first we halt transmission so that we don't have new cases occurring, whether it's mother-to-child transmission or transmission between individuals, adults, married couples or married couples, adults in general.
We talk about stigma and discrimination as labels we give to people to demean them and reduce their self-worth. So if a young man is growing up and you stigmatize or discriminate him, already you have reduced his self-worth. And this thing can have consequences on the emotional status of that person.
Most of our members are the one partaking on the project. So we employ almost 62 of them working in our various community just to make sure the go into the community and then mobilize our women to go to the facility for ANC. And the essence of this is this. We want to be sure that by 2030, none of our children come out positive.
The virus can be transmitted through contact with infected blood, semen, or vaginal fluids. While there is currently no cure for HIV/AIDS, proper medication can effectively manage the infection and prevent disease progression.
And in Lagos, residents have highlighted the importance of supporting and nurturing homegrown solutions in the health sector, particularly within research institutes at both state and national levels. The residents emphasize that these efforts are crucial for achieving a society free from diseases, especially infectious diseases. Speaking to Trust TV News, residents also advocated for an increase in investment in Nigeria's healthcare sector.
Health has a significant impact on every aspect of human life. Investing in the healthcare system will enhance national development and economic prosperity. To control diseases in the nation, particularly infectious and pandemic diseases, the government needs to focus more on homegrown solutions to address the health challenges in the country. This is the view of some residents of Lagos State.
The public must necessarily seek knowledge about how to prevent that disease, what they can do as individuals. And I think the major thing to do is to keep very good hygiene, from washing hands and cleaning, making the environment very clean to ensure that disease spread is reduced.
Speaking with Lagos residents, they also aired their views on disease control, the need for government to support in providing necessary facilities and manpower for the health system. They lamented the poor state of health facilities, which has caused many researchers and health professionals to leave the country.
If your environment clean, if my environment clean, it's very hard for disease to take place. For government, they have to put some facilities in the hospital so that any disease and medication, so that any disease that they carry go there, they can be able to cure them or can be able to help them.
The government is supposed to import medicine to Nigeria so that when the doctor they have patient, they should be able to treat them very well. There should not be lack of medicine.
You're supposed to get public toilets. One, isn't it? When they get public toilets, then they have to take care of all the people in the area by giving them facilities that will help them to be okay in any circumstance.
I feel if the government wants to control any diseases in the country, they should help in putting more funds and equipment in our health facilities. We need more equipment and more professionals in the health facilities.
Stakeholders say Nigeria needs its own research funding agencies to support the health system and provide funding for health researchers. With such support funding, researchers will be able to develop homegrown solutions for controlling diseases, particularly infectious and pandemic diseases.
In a bid to bolster agriculture, the Jigawa State government is collaborating with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to explore partnership opportunities aimed at supporting the agricultural value chain in the state. Governor Umar Namadi revealed this during a meeting with a delegation from the foundation. Here's a report.
During the meeting, Governor Namadi highlighted Jigawa State's rich agricultural potentials and ongoing efforts to boost the sector. He expressed gratitude for the foundation's interest collaborating to enhance agricultural productivity and value addition, which is crucial for the state's economic development.
The opportunities are enormous. And we are willing to collaborate because we feel we can only progress with the collaboration. And there is no better partner to collaborate than an NIPC. So I want to assure you that in Jigawa, we are ready to collaborate and work together. Your certification program, I think, is quite important. And I'm sure the DG will work closely with the NIPC to ensure that Jigawa got the certification.
The Executive Director, African Agricultural Transformation Initiative, Sefia Aboli, outlined the Foundation's initiative focused on transforming agriculture across Africa. She emphasized the importance of partnerships in achieving sustainable agricultural development and highlighted areas where the Foundation could provide support, including access to finance, technology adoption, and capacity building for farmers.
The objectives of our visit today, Your Excellency, is really to cement this relationship that we have with Jigawa. It's to develop strategies with the Investment Authority on areas such as the Investment Certification Program, and also to help develop some kind of investment strategy so that we can streamline where the investments or the investors should be looking at. Your Excellency, we also come across, as we move around and we get requests, donor agencies, private equity investors, they're always looking for where to go and where to park their investments or where to support. And so one of the reasons for this tour and this visit specifically to Jigawa is to see where these investment opportunities may lie.
Governor Namadi and Boli discussed various strategies to improve the agricultural value chain in Jigawa State, such as investing in infrastructure, enhancing market access, and promoting innovative farming techniques. This partnership aims to leverage the Foundation's expertise and resource to address the challenges in the agricultural sector, thereby driving economic growth and improving the livelihoods of farmers in Jigawa State.
Elsewhere, the Adamawa State government has announced plans to collaborate with the Northeast Development Commission to initiate the rehabilitation of a border bridge connecting Adamawa and Borno State, which was washed away by erosion. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri made this known while addressing journalists shortly after inspecting the Waga Bridge in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State. The governor emphasized that the bridge serves as a crucial route to the Sambisa Forest and the Mandara Mountains, areas where many Boko Haram insurgents are known to operate. The Adamawa State governor highlighted the rebuilding of the bridge will support military operations and ensure residents have an escape route in case of emergencies. Governor Fintri assured that the rehabilitation efforts will start promptly, with the state government already engaging with Northeast Development Commission tasked with the reconstruction of affected areas.
This is a border between the two states, and also this is the area that links to the Zambeza and the Mandara Mountain, where most of the criminals of Boko Haram are still inhabiting. And if we allow this road to go off, not just the community of the two states that will be in danger, but even our security agencies, particularly the military, will be in danger that they could not communicate among themselves and they cannot move to carry out their operation. I have come to see it myself, and this has to be done with the speed that is expected to ensure that we connect and we rehabilitate this bridge immediately.
Now, Rahim Adedoyin, recently re-elected as a board member of the International Press Institute Global, was honored at a dinner hosted by IPI Nigeria. They acknowledged his significant contributions to the journalism profession, highlighting his re-election for a second term as the board director for Africa in IPI Global. Here's the report.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, used the occasion to call on media practitioners to practice responsible journalism as the struggle for media freedom continues.
This is something that all of us have to come together to fight for. We shouldn't take it for granted. We shouldn't think that because we are media practitioners, we automatically will have the freedom that we so desire. We have to continuously demand of it. But as we demand of it, you also have to ensure that you're also responsible.
Also speaking at the occasion, the board chairman, IPI Nigeria, and chairman of Media Trust Group, Kabir Yusuf, said the contributions of IPI Nigeria to the practice of journalism in the country cannot be overemphasized.
We have come to a point where we have a strong IPI locally. The local chapter is fairly strong. It's able to do training, it's able to do advocacy, is able to fight for press freedom, journalists who are detained illegally, and is able to do this kind of event.
Speaking at the event on how journalists can navigate media freedom amidst censorship, the guest speaker, Professor Abiodun Adeni, said professionalism remains key.
Ethics of the profession, being evidence-based, fact-based reporting, subscription to truth, and of course, balance and objectivity. These are central themes, central elements that the journalists should easily subscribe to.
In separate goodwill messages, Rahim Adidoyin and others appreciated both the Minister of Information and National Orientation as well as the Chairman Media Trust Group for their resilience towards his re-election as board members of IPI Global.
Everybody talks about how well we did as Nigeria to have hosted a successful Congress in 2018. We almost be grateful to Kabiru and Daily Trust. Daily Trust was the secretariat. I was literally sleeping there. For 6 months, for the first time in my life, I did not leave Abuja.
So I'd like to start by profoundly appreciating our chairman for today's event, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, a very supportive gentleman. Now, I also like to thank the chairman of the Board of Trustees of IPI Nigeria, Malam Kabiru Abdullahi Yusuf, and other members of the board.
IPI is a global network of editors, media executives, and leading journalists with a mission to defend media freedom and support independent journalism wherever they are threatened.
Alhaji Usman Bilyamin Othman II, the Emir of Das, has cautioned Nigerians against indiscriminate tree cutting as a measure to mitigate the effects of climate change in various communities. The traditional ruler made the statement shortly after participating in a symbolic tree planting ceremony to commemorate the Great Green Wall Day of 2024 at Das Emirate Council in Bauchi. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has more on the story.
The Das monarch, who received the representative of the Agency for the Control of Desertification and Protection of Environment, Great Green Wall, in his palace, explained that people of his community has always been admonished to contribute in the fight against desertification and other environmental problems affecting the society.
It's going to be a very huge task for all of us, particularly we, the leaders of our various communities. We would like to make sure that each and every personality, each and every person is obliged to plant a tree, at least raise it, as well as we make very good effort to control the issues of felling trees within our.
The agency extended the planting of trees to one of the primary schools of the benefiting communities in Yelwa area, as well as the state government house premises, as part of their contribution in curtailing any form of environmental challenges.
We give them seed to go and plant at home. Whoever plants it, when it's grown, they should bring it to us to see. When we see if it's growing very well, we give them price. Then we'll now ask them to go and plant it in their various areas.
A clean environment is a healthy environment and is good for living things, human beings inclusive. Today, the world over, we are fighting the menace of deforestation, environmental degradation, and so on and so forth. So, greening the environment will go a long way in enhancing our livelihoods.
The agency called on the community to minimize the uses of charcoal within their domain. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In other news, transparency experts in Nigeria have urged the government to enhance protections for whistleblowers, acknowledging their vital role as key fighters against corruption. This call was made during a high-level event commemorating Africa Anti-Corruption Day, which emphasizes the importance of ensuring the safety and well-being of whistleblowers. As part of activities to commemorate the day, the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics has launched an anti-corruption survey where it reveals that a whopping 70% of Nigerians refused giving bribe last year, 2023. The stakeholders urge the anti-graft agencies in the country to use the survey's findings to implement an effective anti-corruption campaign in the country.
Whistleblowing is a key tool to detect corruption and other forms of wrongdoing. Nigeria has a whistleblowing policy 2016 that encourages people to voluntarily disclose information about any form of corruption or theft. The policy goes a step further to provide for reward and protection of the whistleblower.
I understand that the bill on whistleblowers protection is before the National Assembly, and we are using this opportunity to call upon the National Assembly to expedite action on that. And it is my hope that this bill, which accommodates measures that cover the gaps in the whistleblower policy, will be given the desired attention and pass expeditiously.
The survey provides a critical tool for evidence-based policy making, enabling a comprehensive analysis of corruption trends and the effectiveness of anti-corruption strategies.
All right, let's join Yusuf Akogu for today's update in business.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. Against the backdrop of complaint by Dangote Refinery, the federal government and crude oil producing companies have agreed to an inclusive supply of crude oil to cater for local refining and exports. The producer under the Aegis of Oil Producers Trade Section of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry at the instance of Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission agreed to concede a framework that will be mutually beneficial with a focus on ensuring that the local refineries are not strangulated with off-the-cuff prices. The parties made the commitment at a virtual meeting convened by the Commission Chief Executive, Gbenga Komolafe, with the act on status review of the framework for seamless operationalization of domestic crude oil supply obligation template on Monday. The meeting was part of the effort to effectively implement key sections of the Petroleum Industry Act, especially the aspect of pricing and crude oil supply to domestic refineries. Komolafe said there is the need to have a rule of engagement to ensure that the pricing model from oil producers is not seen to be strangulating the domestic refineries. The Nigerian Exchange Limited (NGX) has unveiled its Impact Board, a dedicated platform for listing sustainability instruments following approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). The initiative was announced during a closing gong ceremony in Lagos in honor of Balarabe Abbas Lawal, Minister of Environment, and commemorating the 8th Green Bond Anniversary Group meeting. This launch marks a pivotal moment in NGX's steadfast commitment to integrating sustainability into the core of Nigeria's capital market. By providing a high-visibility platform for sustainability instruments, NGX aims to usher in an era of responsible investing, offering forward-thinking issuer access to purpose-driven capital. Bargain hunting may linger as pullbacks attract fresh positioning for earning inflow at the NGX as market correction have created entry opportunities for key market players. Let's see how the market closed today. Closed in the positive territory there. The top gaining equities there are Curtis leading the table there by 10% to close at 4 naira and 62 kobo per share. Of course, Len Africa also there 10% it gained to close at 3 naira and 52 kobo per share. Of course, Cavitin Helicopter up 8.97% to close at 1 naira and 58 kobo per share. Of course, this has pushed up the market marginally 0.2%. I beg your pardon. A marginal gain, you will say 420.896 million shares traded, valued at 6.82 billion naira in a days of 7,617 did exchanges among investors this Friday, last trading day for the week. Looking at the top trading equities, we have Fidelity Man Nigeria PLC leading that table there, 96.623 million shares traded. LRX also up there for 6.542 million shares. Of course, GTCO also 42.686 million volume of shares traded. Some equities ended on the losing side of the market. Leading that table is Restaurants down 9.80% to close at 4 naira and 5 kobo per share. Of course, Dacom also down there 8.77% to close at 52 kobo per share. Of course, Guinness Nigeria PLC 7.14% it lost to close at 65 naira per share there. That's the highlight of stock trading as it went down this Friday on the floor of NGS. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil price rose on Friday amid signs of easing inflationary pressure in the United States, the world's biggest oil consumer, though Brent crude was still set for a weekly decline. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $85 per barrel. For the oil basket, merchant offer $85 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
To developments on the international scene, young Kenyans on Friday dismissed President William Ruto's decision to sack most of his cabinet with some warning that they would. Well, that is our offering for you on the News Hour tonight. Thank you most kindly for joining us. As always, we urge you to follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch. Also visit our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. For myself and the rest of the team, thank you for your time and good night.